Hello everyone, happy Monday. We are back again to make some art together, and this one I'm super psyched about because I've technically never done this, which is wild. I know the process, but I'm excited to do it today. So we'll be joined by Ishel, and she will be here soon to show us how to do some tinfoil printmaking. But those of you that are just joining us, friendly reminder for you to follow along. These chats will be saved under our IGTV tab or our video tab after the fact, so you can watch them later. And then we will also be posting some more in our story for some things that you might want to stay tuned to check out afterwards as well. So I am Sarah Krajewski. I'm going to get Ishel in here so we can learn a little bit more about this amazing, simple, but super fun way to make some art. And hopefully you all make some art with us today. Friendly reminder for you, if you want to win a chance to get one of these really cool holographic stickers, they're so cool, then please post in your story if you've created something with us today after the fact, and tag the Art of Ed, Ishel if you can, and use our hashtag AOEULive so that I can see what y'all create. So I'm gonna get Ishel in here. Here we go. And find her. Alrighty, perfect. She'll be joining us soon. While y'all are waiting for her to join us, go ahead and type into the chat. Oh, just kidding. Never mind. I was going to say, tell us where you're joining us from. Ishel, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We did it. Technology wins.
Okay. I'm getting set up here.
You're doing great. I usually am just my camera's all over the place. I'm like, hey, you want to take a ride with me? It's really fun.
I'm here. This is so exciting.
Yes. Well, can you start by introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about you before we get going.
Sure. My name is Ishel, and I work as an art teacher in Utah. I've been teaching for 5 years, and I love everything. Everything that has to do with being a global citizen. I love anything that has to do with color. I do so much color theory work with my students, and I'm really into experimenting this year with students. So we're doing a lot of new things that I've never done, and hopefully new things that my students have never done.
Perfect. And sometimes it's almost fun to just experiment in front of them. Like, what if we do this? And then it fails and you're like, cool, that wasn't so awesome, So it's fun to do that both ways. Well, okay, I want to make sure we get started because you're going to show us 2, 3 versions of this?
3.
Okay.
I'm hoping 3. I think we'll have time. Yeah. They're pretty fast.
I'm going to make it work. Yes. So can you go ahead and tell us what materials we need first before we downturn the cams and get going?
Okay. So if you would like to make this gorgeous, I pre-made one. If you would like to make this gorgeous tinfoil print with us, you are going to need, obviously, some tinfoil. Any brand works. I've used them all. They all work great. Mine's from Costco, so I don't know if that's special or not. You're going to need some washable markers.
Yes.
I have lots of colors here, but if you just have a few, it'll still turn out really beautiful. Washable is key, though.
Yes.
Then the last thing, there's 2 more things really that you'll need. We'll need something to print on. Now, I have used printer paper with this project, and it works fine. My students, we've used every type of paper. I prefer watercolor paper, or I think this is 80-pound mixed media paper.
Sure.
So it's a little bit thicker than printer paper, but I've used newspaper. We've used printer paper, scratch paper, any paper can work. But the thicker, the better.
Okay, good to know.
And then the last thing, I always like to spray this in the air with my students. They always go, oh, the water. You need a little spray bottle full of water. If you don't have a spray bottle, a sponge could work. If you get a sponge a little bit wet, and then you dab your paper instead of misting the tinfoil, that could also work.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Nice.
I also have a paper towel. Just you never know.
Just because we're gonna try a few versions and we might need to just switch it up a little bit. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna just do this. You'll look at my what's this? Tabletop here.
Okay, same with me.
Okay. I definitely was like around the house trying to find the spray bottle because this may or may not be for like our cats when they try to have the plant. And I was like, I have to get the cat spray bottle. It's fine.
That is hilarious.
Everything's fine.
I love that.
Okay, are we gonna use one piece of tinfoil the whole time, or do we need like multiples?
So I just use one piece. And my students, sometimes when I'm doing with this project with them, after we do a print, they're like, oh, Mrs. Hertz, it's so messy. Like, I want a clean piece. But I tell them that you just need to spray a little water and you just wipe it off and it's clean.
Okay.
So you can use one piece the entire time.
Does it matter if it's crinkled? I feel like that's a weird question, but like yours looks all pretty crinkled, or is it fine either way?
Well, it's interesting. This could be an experiment right now because I'm wondering if the crinkle, so if you look here, do you see all this kind of texture?
Yeah.
I think this part was smooth and this part was crinkled. So it's almost like you could purposely crinkle your tinfoil if you want.
Okay.
And mine is just crinkled because I've pre-used it. I've already used it.
Okay, got
but
it.
I'm curious to see what yours will look like, Sarah.
Yes, we're gonna check it out. I'm just gonna leave it flat and then we'll go from there. Okay. How we gonna start?
Okay. First lesson I do with this, first thing I do with this with my students is we talk about color mixing and the primary colors. So I have red, yellow, and blue here. If you have red, yellow, and blue, let's make a print. So I first take my red, and with my students, we call these blobs of color.
Well,
they're
very
kind of like, yes, they're not really, I mean, I guess they're splotches, which is another word that you could use, a very professional term.
Right.
But my students love the word blob.
Yes, blob.
So I do a red one here, and then I try and get a yellow next to it, but not touching the red.
Okay.
But kind of next to it, so I know that they're going to mix when I add my water.
Okay. What have you tried this with non-washable markers? Does it just like not transfer?
Yes, with like permanent markers, or I think some other brands have some markers, but they're not as washable as kind of your generic Crayola.
Yeah.
It does not work. You just end up coloring the tinfoil and nothing happens. But with washable, and I talk about this with my students too, we talk about how different a washable marker is versus a, like, say, Sharpie or permanent. And we learn terms about opaque and transparent and mixing and blending. But for this part right now, we've just got red, yellow, blue. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. This is the fun part. My students love this part. The key is to not spray too much water.
Got it.
So I would just spray maybe once on top of all the colors.
Okay.
And you can even pause here with your students and kind of talk about what you see that's already happening.
Yes.
I can already see green. Can you see green on your paper?
Yes, I really want to spray more if I'm being honest.
Oh, okay. Do like maybe 5 or 6 more sprays.
Okay, I got like a big sprayer. Ooh,
okay. Oh, yours looks really good.
Yeah,
I can already see purple. I see green on yours. Exciting. Okay.
Love.
So now the next part, you take your paper, and I like to kind of bend mine like a rainbow, so it doesn't have any air bubbles, and then I just put it right on top and let it kind of fall. And then you get to use your hand as a baren, which in printmaking is the part that you hold to kind of press the paper into the ink.
Love.
Okay, and then this is the big reveal.
Grand reveal.
I'm so excited. I'll do mine first, and then you go.
Okay.
Because I want to watch yours totally.
Yes, okay.
What? Okay, very cool. I really did get a ton of purple here. I got some here. That might be old, but I have a lot of green, which is fun. Okay, your turn.
Purple. Okay. Hey.
Oh,
Mine's like,
Sarah, look how smooth yours is.
I know. I think it's the tinfoil.
I think it's the crinkling. So the more smooth, the less of this texture you'll have. I love your green.
Okay,
And I
that's
see a little bit
kinda
of
dope.
purple
Yes.
and the orange. Oh, I love it. You just made your
Magical.
first tin print.
I know. I also even just love these like little crinkly edges here too. Those are super
Yes.
fun. Okay,
Like the little
let's
pockets of white.
I know, right? Okay, so now what do we just wipe it off and we're gonna try another one?
Yes. So sometimes with my students, I let them leave it and then we just color more marker around it. And
Sure.
usually with these markers, it's fine because they're wet anyway and inky. But for our purposes today, let's spray it and clean it.
Okay, perfect. Now,
Because-
you've obviously done this with your class, Ishel, so
Yes.
like what grades do you typically do it with, and like what's the
Oh, that's so
general
pretty.
like classroom hints you have for that?
Sure. So I've done this project with, I think, kindergarten up until maybe 4th or 5th grade. I may have had, oh, are you crinkling?
I couldn't help it. I was like, must get more texture.
You want the crinkle. I love it. So I'll keep kind of chatting, but for this next one, we're just going to do a full page wash.
Okay.
So I would love to see at least 5 different colors,
Okay.
and I'll kind of talk while I color.
Does
But
it
I've done
matter,
this
like, where they
project.
go or just wherever?
Oh, for this one, I love to, again, with the blob, kind of just random.
Got it.
The more random, the better. But just make sure you're not like scribbling a big brown mess.
Yes.
I tell my students to keep the colors separate and then they'll mix when we spray.
Okay. All right.
But
So
this project, so I've done it with K through 6, and I found out about it during the pandemic because I had so many students like me who we were all stuck at home trying to be safe, and they just didn't have paint or even like a lot of different supplies that we kind of just take for granted in the art room.
yeah.
And I remember finding this technique, and it just, it stuck out to me because the first word is tinfoil. And I'm like, everyone probably has tinfoil in their kitchen.
Right.
So I started doing this activity with my students, and it's so fun because there's a big part of it that's experimental, which I love. And so every print turns out different.
And I feel like it's really accessible for the little ones to practice printmaking without it being too like stressful, because you're not gonna mess it up, right? No matter what, as long as you drew something and you sprayed water and you put down paper, like you're gonna get something that's gonna happen from it. So that's good.
That is so true. This is a really, really good intro lesson to just talk about print and what a print means. Okay, I love your blobs.
I'm ready.
They look gorgeous.
It's happening.
Okay, fun part. Oh,
Okay.
wow, it already looks cool.
I know. I like want to take a little close-up picture of the. I mean, I can't
Of
because my phone
the
is
print.
attached to a thing, but I want to.
You'll have to do it again with your students because
All right, okay,
they'll
okay,
make
okay.
some cool stuff.
I will.
Okay, let's see. Okay, new paper.
Do you like push hard so that you have like the crinkles? I think you have to like kind of soak it up, right? Like push enough.
I wonder if, because my tinfoil is so crinkly, even if I press hard and really smooth it out, I think there's still going to be white pockets.
Okay, I'm
Kind of
kind
all
of
over.
noticing that. Mine's getting weird.
Is it bending the paper a little bit?
Kind of, but it's like, I don't know. I can't tell if it's cool. I feel like my purple marker was real weird. It's like very pastel, and so it looks kind of interesting. It's okay. It's happening.
Okay.
Oh
Reveal.
my god.
Whoa!
Dude, mine
Look
is
at
so
that.
pretty. I think I kind of feel like, am I using too much water, do you feel like? Like
Let's see.
That part,
It-
big fan.
Yes.
This part, real cray.
It might be too much water.
Okay.
That's probably it.
I'm that student that like can't
It
stop
is so
spraying.
pretty.
I'm like,
So
yes.
there's so much. Sometimes you can kind of tap it and make the colors move around.
Yeah.
Because they're so wet. Like right here, I can see it. I'm literally moving this drip around however I want.
Right, so it's like real, because it's just such a slick surface. Okay, yeah, so I'm like pulling up, I can
Oh,
pull like multiple prints
wow.
from it. Got it.
That is so pretty. I should do multiple too.
Yes.
Very
Oh,
pretty.
yes. Adding salt is always a good suggestion when it comes to watercolor. I assume,
Oh,
are you talking
true.
about like on the paper to sprinkle some of that puddly stuff up? Or you could try it on the tinfoil too. I wonder, I guess when you put the paper down, the salt may be a little bit of a barrier, but like these could be.
I
For
like
sure.
it maybe sprinkling on top, and it can, the salt soaks up the water.
Yeah.
That's a fun tip. I'm gonna explore that. I'm gonna experiment that with my students.
Beautiful. Okay, I am really enjoying the difference. Like this to me kind of looks like some sort
Yeah,
of
look at your first one. Let's compare.
Okay, I'm like, it's really interesting actually how like soft and fuzzy this one is compared to the crinkle. I feel like I might even throw that like when I do it. Yeah, same.
Because your first one is kind of similar. Like mine right here is the same as your primary color one. It's just more watercolor wash, water. But then the scratchy little white pockets, I think just adds such an interesting texture that I don't get with anything else.
No, I love it. I feel like you could do like poetry inside there, like a cool contour line project or lettering or something where it's kind of this washy background, but there's a really cool technique that was done behind it first. Okay, show me the last.
I love that you said that. So real quick before, this is a project that I love to do with my students with this specific paper that we make out of the wash because it always just turns out so cute. I always have them write their name, and then have you ever seen those like word collection posters where they write like words in different they're going this way and that way and kind of like a sign almost. I have them think of like a word wall. I'm not sure what they're called. Word poster wall. But I have them write their name really big in the middle and with a black permanent marker. And then we just write 10 different phrases or like words that describe who they are. And a fun kind of a prerequisite to this project is I have students actually write down words that describe their peers. So we do that first, and then we have a bunch of words, and then I let them print and then write their name on it with all their positive affirmations, which I love.
Yeah, that's a great like beginning. Even like I love having some tricky quick projects up your sleeve that are like super fun and engaging, but they're not crazy messy compared to like paint. Really, it's like mostly the water, right? And so that's a relatively neat and tidy project, but you're gonna get the kids' attention for sure, and just like a fun way to get it started. I think actually I've been doing sketchbook prompts with my students, and I feel like it dries so quickly. We could even do like prints for the 5-minute prompts. I think that'd be really fun.
You should. Oh, one thing that I do is I have actually taken tinfoil and I reuse the tinfoil over and over. I've used it for like 4 years. Yes. Sometimes it gets ripped up and you have to throw it away. But then we use it for a sculpture project. I really try to reuse this. I never let kids throw it away. Sometimes if it's kind of old and used, we cut it up into small like pieces that are about this size. Yeah. And I let them take these little pieces. They take them home, or it's just a square of tinfoil, and they get to you could totally press it in your sketchbook. I love that idea.
Absolutely, like a little stamp kind of. It's almost like you're taking the tabletop and making it become some sort of little stamper and just like do it reversed.
Yes.
Okay,
I love that.
Let's try the third one so that I know we have time for it.
This is our third kind of technique that I do with my students. I usually teach this third one after they have done the primary color one, the full page wash. This one is a little trickier because sometimes the water can blend and kids might get frustrated, but if you persevere, it's really, really cool. So
okay, wait for me to get frustrated because I already messed up my I'm like happy to be learning from this because this one's so pretty. It's just like I want that on the whole page.
Totally.
But it's fine. I'm learning. Okay.
You're learning, experimenting, learning through trial and error. This is perfect.
Okay.
So for this one, try to figure out what size paper what size paper you want. I'm going to use this kind of half sheet size. And you want to leave the very middle blank. So I'm just going to draw like an oval, and that's going to be my center.
Okay.
And that means when we pull the print, this middle part is supposed to not have anything inside of it. Okay. And you could write your name, you know, with your black marker on your paper, or draw a picture, whatever. All around it, though, we want color. Okay. So we're going to do our little blobs, but I'm going to this time make them go like they're kind of spreading off the page.
Love.
Because it creates the ultimate tie-dye, the ultimate 90s kid tie-dye look.
I mean, obviously.
Do your kids freak out when they find out you're born like in the 90s or 80s? They like can't believe it.
Hold on, you don't know how old I am. Kind of. I had a kid today that was like obsessing over one of their friends' little chain on her pants, and it was very like kind of 90s jeans pants, and I was like, yeah, I would wear those.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. My students are discovering Tamagotchis right now.
Oh my God, it's all coming back.
Oh yes. I'm like, this is hysterical. I was there when this was invented. And they're like, what? No.
I was just away from the cusp of being able to like afford the cool things with my family. So I was like a bystander watching all that. I'm like, man, now I kind of want to get a Tamagotchi because I could pay for it. You know?
should. You should. They're adorable.
Like I need another thing to take care of. Don't need any more responsibility.
I love it. Oh, I love your colors. We're kind of matching with the purple and the red and the yellow.
Sort of like Mardi Gras or something. I don't know what's happening, but I
like it.
For it. Yes. Okay.
Also, my paper towel. Can we have a moment for how beautiful she is?
Oh, it's like shibori, right?
I love it. Yes. Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
The blue. Okay. So when you spray, yes, we need a moment. It's so cute. When I spray this specific technique, I tell my students to, when they're spraying, try to spray away from the center. I know it's kind of tricky, but the more you just spray straight down, it's going to blend pool in the middle.
Yeah.
So try your best to kind of angle, and it won't be perfect, and that's something I have to, reiterate for my perfectionist students. It won't be perfect, but it will be okay.
Yes, it will be.
Just spray away from the middle as much as you can.
Has any kid ever like sprayed themselves? I mean, I'm sure they spray themselves because
100%. We even have, I walk around the room with my personal spray bottle, and I just joke with the kids. I'm like, okay, who needs a lucky spray? And then I just kind of mist the area above their heads, and they think it's the funniest thing ever.
That's so cute. I love it. That's what I would do with like bubbles at the end of the year, and it's so fun. You just be like, well, just go get a little
who needs one?
Yes.
Okay,
wait,
let's see.
Did you just do it, or do you need to put your name on it now?
So that's a good question. With my younger students, I have them press it first, and then we do like something in the middle. Yeah. For my older kids, it's kind of fun. I'm gonna try it. It's kind of fun to get their spatial awareness going. Yes. I'm just gonna write hello. If you write something in the middle and then see if they can line it up themselves, it's a little stressful, but we'll see. We'll see if it works.
Well, I'm intrigued. I mean, at least it's black, so if nothing else, you're probably still gonna be able to see it.
Okay. I'm really focusing.
She's like, don't talk to me. I'm printing.
Gosh, don't ask me any questions, Sarah.
I'm focusing. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, hopefully this works.
Let's see it. I have like this little tiny postcard. I'm excited about it.
I'm pulling. Oh my goodness.
That one's cute.
It mostly worked. I think I didn't use enough water, but I like it.
Are you kidding me?
That's my best one. My goodness. Sarah, yours is fantastic.
Yeah,
the splatter on like the left by the R. Oh, that's so cute.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's real good.
I love it.
I feel like just within the last, I get it now. I understand.
Yeah.
Have you ever double printed some? Like for example, this one's like cool, or this one's fine.
Okay, I'm double printing.
Okay.
There's so many ways you can take this lesson.
I know.
And sometimes I don't even come up with half of the ideas. My students do.
Right.
I show them like 2 techniques and then I go, okay, go explore, go invent a new way to do something. And it's so fun to see what they come up with. Ooh, double print.
Okay. I mean, there's some interesting like
I
color
like
mixing
it.
happening on there.
Okay, everyone in this live, I want to see everyone's photos for real.
Oh, see, look at this guy.
All of their art. Oh, that is so pretty and moody.
I like the double print. That's interesting. I'm into it. I'm gonna just keep going.
It's a triple print. Triple print.
Triple print. I mean, it's gonna get real messy at some point, but
yeah, it just turns like brown and black.
Yeah, and I'm like, that looks so cool. Totally schmutz.
Okay, let me see this one.
Honestly, though, like this is the highlight of my day.
I love that. I love that so much. That one really is my favorite.
Okay. You helped me to make it a reality.
Wait, let me get my favorite. Okay, let's take a screenshot. I'm going to try and take a screenshot. Okay, wait. I'm just going to smile because I can't double. Okay. I don't know if it worked. Oh, I think it did. Yay.
Here's what you could do is we just pause it and then you screenshot it after the fact.
Yeah.
That's the old lady tech person in me being like, yeah, we'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yours looks so good.
I'm obsessed. Okay, this is going to be my example for all of. I know you helped me to make it a reality. I think it's the crinkle because like I like this one, but I feel like it's not the same. Okay.
I mean, I do like it, but it just reminds me of watercolor. So to me, I'm like, without the crinkle of the, the tinfoil, you can just do it with watercolor paint and it's fine.
It's nice to have something that gives it a little extra dimension. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, so Ishel, tell us, I believe you have a few other things from the Art of Ed that we can see or will see from you. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Can you tell us some of them before we go? Yes,
I am not positive on a few dates, but I will be filming a what's it called? A podcast episode. And I will also have a few articles coming out in October. I think the end of October I'll have my first one, and then November, December, kind of the months after this month, I'll have more articles posted.
Yay! Perfect. So just like a little writing stint. So we'll be hearing some of the fun things you do in your classroom, and I am super psyched to try this with my students. I always have been asking our recent guests too, if you have any suggestions or encouraging words for us as we like continue through our daily teaching. Okay. What do you have for us?
Oh gosh, encouraging words.
You didn't prep for this. I'm sorry. I'm like, tell us how it'll be okay.
I really am so into experimentation this year. I feel like that is just our theme. And so I would say, don't be afraid to take those papers you've been stockpiling in your closet and actually use them, experiment, have fun, and just see where things go. See where the flow takes you, where your students take the lesson, whatever avenue they lead into. Don't be afraid to experiment.
I love it. Experimentation is that's a great word for just life, but also what a good theme for your school year in teaching. Awesome.
Totally.
Yay! Oh my gosh, this was so fun. Thank you so much for leading it for us. Everybody that was here today, if you want to share what you created, just tag Ishel. What's your handle again?
Ishel Hertz Art Class.
Okay, ISHELHERTZ. Okay, you'll see her because I'll tag her afterwards as well. So y'all share and then join us next week for another Make Art with Me, and we'll be doing some other cool stuff. So we will see you later. Have a great rest of your week, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
Thanks.
Bye everyone.